Hello everybody. So I was just reading the comments from my last video, Is Freely the Banana Girl Lost? And I have to say I'm pretty impressed by the thought you guys put into these comments. And what's clear to me is that you really do care about the big issues. And you're concerned about the direction that Freely is taking lately. Anyhow, I would like to talk about one comment left by Jesse Folk. And let me read it to you first. The whole response seems very passive-aggressive. Slavery in America wasn't abolished with love and compassion. It was abolished with changing the law to make it illegal and then prosecuting anyone who decided that they would defy the law. It was abolished by force. The same must be done in the case of animals. The laws must be changed to extend animals the most basic of human rights. And anyone who decides not to abide by the law can rot in a jail cell. Freely is standing up for the animals, the planet, and the orphans and saying the right things. You're just being a passive-aggressive hippie. Okay, I'm a passive-aggressive hippie. We'll talk about that at the end of this video. First of all, I don't see Freely as standing up for the animals, the planet, and the orphans. I think her channel, the direction that it's taken, has more or less taken on the nature of being a tabloid. It's a gossip channel for vegans, basically. And as gossip goes, you know, it's a little bit irresistible. We just love to engage in gossip. And yes, she does talk about the big issues like animal cruelty, the environmental issues of the planet, and about overpopulation and all the orphans of the world. But I do not see her as a soldier out there actually, fighting for these causes, participating in organizations that are out on the front line fighting for these causes. And there are people that are doing that, and they're willing to, risk everything for the cause. There are vegans out there that will risk financial ruin, that will risk going to prison, and maybe even potentially risk their own life to stand up against animal cruelty. Is Freely one of those? I don't think so. I think her actions recently in the case with Kayla was clear that she's not a real soldier. She likes to point the finger at other people and point out their faults. But when she's under serious attack, suddenly she's compromising and making settlements. Now, I don't judge her for this because I'm not a soldier myself. I'm not the type to be out on the front line risking everything. And if I was in Freely's situation with litigation against me, I would be looking at settling out of court, definitely. So no judgment there, but let's not put her on this pedestal that now she's the spokesperson for animal rights and the planet and orphans when there are real people out there on the front line willing to give everything, sacrifice everything for these causes. It's an insult to those people that are real soldiers for the causes. So that's my whole take on that. At the end of the day, Freely's channel is a tabloid, a gossip channel for vegans, and it's entertainment. So am I a passive aggressive hippie? I'll tell you something. Before I put up the previous video, I gave it a lot of thought, and I really, I try to search my own heart out and because I don't want to do things out of a wrong motive. Like, for example, putting up a video that I know will get me more hits because what the video is about is somebody who's already popular. Guarantees you get twice as many hits as you normally would. So yeah, I don't like doing that. It's called piggybacking. And there's other, motives that I examine, and it doesn't matter how sincere I try to be about videos of this nature. There's always something in me that's not pure, and I can't help that. But I really felt it was important to put this video up because I knew a lot of people were feeling the same way that I was, and I wanted to create a dialogue to make sure that my concerns weren't just isolated, but what I was concerned about with regards to Freely the Banana Girl was also that of others, and that we were seeing a direction that we did not think was healthy. And I think that has been pretty much confirmed. But now, is there some passive-aggressive trait going on here? If you can give me an example where I'm being passive-aggressive in the last video or even in this video, I would appreciate you showing it to me, and I will take an honest look at myself and my behavior, because I'm definitely about self-improvement, and I would not want to have a behavioral pattern in my life that would be counter to that. So please, if you can give an example that would make it clear to me that I was being passive-aggressive, I'm more than willing to admit it. I just can't see it myself. I might be blind to it. I don't know. So yeah, but the thing is love and compassion. Like, you can be a soldier and still be loving and compassionate, even towards your enemy. I mean, this is something that, yes, you stand up for what is wrong. You stand up for what is unjust. I'm not against action. I'm all for action. And I think everybody has a certain responsibility here. For some people, it will be being called to be a soldier and be on the front line and risk all. But for a lot of us, it's not that. We're not soldiers. But still, we are responsible in our own way and within our own abilities to be active. So I'm not a pacifist, if that's what you're suggesting here. And I just believe, though, that who is the enemy? The enemy are just other human beings. And they, regardless of their actions, must be treated with integrity. And this is what we do with, you're talking about changing the law and arresting somebody and throwing them in jail and letting them rot. That's not dealing with people with integrity. We don't do that in our legal system. Even criminals, violent criminals get treated with integrity, and the conditions, when they're put into confinement, the conditions must meet certain standards of human respectability. And rightfully so. That's what being human is all about. So what's wrong with love and compassion? What is wrong with loving your enemy? Anyways, that's really all I have to say on that comment. Thank you, Jazzy Folk, for putting it there and provoking me to think about my own motives and, the possibility that I could be passive-aggressive. Again, if you have an example, please show me. Or if anybody else out there sees that trait, I would love you to give me an example. So if I have to deal with that, I will. Thank you for watching. Continue to leave your comments. I love reading them, and have a great day.